welcome back to the AOS crowd. Hey! You're home for your competitive Warhammer Age of Sigmar news. Today, I am joined by Matt Mallow.
Me, hello again.
Hey! It's been a while.
Has been.
Yeah, way too long since the last video. But yeah, we're continuing our series on the World's Teams Review. Today we're reviewing Team Wales' performance with Matt. Our previous video was with Phil from Team England, so if you haven't checked that out already, make sure to do so. You'll find it linked on our channel, possibly up there somewhere, and in the description too. But yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. And Matt, how are we doing? You've been away for work for the last couple of weeks. You've missed the launch of 4, basically.
Yeah, so it's been a bit of a hectic time since Worlds. I went to visit, so straight after I went to visit Quin in Austria, actually. And then I immediately went to the job, which is working offshore, which I'm coming at you from now. So we're in the North Sea right now, which is hence the different background. But yeah, no, it's been good. It's been a little bit hectic, a little bit way too long. But you know, that's my fault for booking too many things immediately afterwards. But yeah, no. But yeah, I'm excited to talk a little bit about kind of what we planned, what we kind of did from like a Team Wales perspective. As someone in the lead and one of the leadership roles in the team, it was pretty interesting. First time I'd done that. So yeah, it was so pretty excited to talk a little bit about it. So we'll kind of kick things off with the prep that we guessed. I'm having listened to what Phil talked about. Ours wasn't quite like that. So our prep kind of looked a little bit more so we had 5 players who hadn't played in Wales before. So a lot of what we tried to do in our prep, get players as comfortable as possible on like army types, I guess, and then try and get them their army and then their playstyle, and then like what that looked like in a list, get them as many games, kind of set as much repetition as we could in those games on a variety of backgrounds that we could get, so that they could be the best prepared that they could be in the margin they had, because we didn't have things like we didn't have mandatory tournament, we didn't have mandatory TTS or like dubs, because like a lot of us are very spread out, so we don't have the luxury of being really close. Sadly, I wish we did, but we don't. So some of the guys live in Cardiff and they had regular meetups. Some of us live in London, Netherlands. So it's not quite, you know. So we did have some. Like I flew over for a couple of times, and we had like sections of meetups. So we had like contingencies of it, and do like practice weekend. But to be honest, a lot of what we wanted to do was vibes. That's kind of that was our sort of motto this year. Was obviously we had a big, not a big, but a relatively big restructuring last year. That kind of obviously that all exploded things, but you know, we're way past that now. And we really wanted this year to be okay. This is Team Wales now in its pure Welsh form. And yeah, we really tried to embrace that, and that went about as well as it. Vibes were amazing.
Yeah.
And we joined in on the, like, I'm really loving this this sort of scrim culture that's kind of happening pre-Worlds now, where a lot of the international teams are sort of scrimming against each other, Discord obviously, and it's really awesome. So we did a couple of scrims. We scrimmed against Finland, we scrimmed against Germany, we scrimmed against Scotland. And yeah, it was really awesome to do that for the first time we've ever done scrims.
Nice, really.
That was really like learning wise, and like especially for a lot of the guys who don't play against. So like obviously I played against like Germans, right? Obviously, I'm very good friends with German guys. I play against them a lot on TTS anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But for a lot of the guys who've never met the German guys, especially pre-Worlds, it was an amazing with those guys. Super. Yeah.
Superb.
Awesome.
You've talked a lot about the people that you've decided to take up on in the team, and I know that you and your captain Dan Arnold, who we love very dearly, have been hard at work selecting players and prepping players, and someone who regularly goes to the UK for like Brotherhood, for other team events. There's always like a WoW squad present, and you're always having the best time, like literally. And this year for Worlds, reading the roster that you guys presented at first was interesting to me because there were a couple of people in there who I knew, but I haven't spoken much to. So a little bit of a change up from, let's say, last year overall and the years prior to that. So a couple of interesting choices as well in terms of army. So what did you end up on for like the roster? Just a quick run through of the people with what armies.
Yeah, so we ended up with we had Matt Roberts, Gargants. We kind of we took the default. In hindsight, we probably shouldn't have taken Gargants, which I think every team went through.
Yeah.
But it was the easy choice, effectively. So we had Matt on Gargants. Matt, obviously, teammate member, great guy. Then we had Dave, Big D on Nurgle, because Nurgle was honestly, when we did practice pairings and scrims, Nurgle was super annoying to pair against. So that was like we kind of needed. Dave got it in there well. We had Matt Goldsborough on his Seraphon. Matt's been playing Seraphon for a very, very long time. Second World's playing Seraphon now. He did really, he obviously performed as he always does.
Yeah.
But yes, we had that. And then I know a lot of teams decided not to stick Seraphon, and I do super understand why, especially from a pairings perspective. But it was Matt was too good on.
Yeah.
We had Luke Churches on Nighthawk. We took the Gash.
A legend.
And the legend that he is. That was kind of a bit of an out there pick, but it kind of worked for us in what we wanted, so we picked that. We had Peter Twig on Corn.
Twiggy.
We had Big Twiggy on Corn. Really, Corn was just amazing to have. And then we had Aaron on the Ogres. So we had Kragnos and all the Glutton boys. And yeah, that was very, very nice to have because we took it because we didn't, right? But just because of the Gargant.
Yeah.
Because of our presence there. And then I think that's everyone there, right? That's how numbers work.
Yeah, that's the new guys.
It's just me then, right? Yeah. It's just me then.
Well, you've got OJ, of course, and Mo, but... Sorry. I was gonna try and sneak away from mentioning Owen. I didn't want to give him the satisfaction. Right? Owen's such a state. Owen was the Owen Jackson was playing. The Owen Jackson. Was playing Piece of Chaos. He's playing Piece of Chaos, and he's such a staple on that army. And he kind of just melded in my brain. Owen, of course, on his. We absolutely were never going to take him away from Piece of Chaos. He's on his Bulgor's World Tour, which is continuing this year as well. Yes, way into fourth. But so he was on this, and lastly was me, and I filled the role, and I played Silver, because
when we looked at the last role that we needed someone to play wide battle plans, basically. So things like labs, and it kind of did. And then there were other armies that could do it just as well, but the difference between me playing the margin of those armies were slightly better than Sylvaneth was kind of outweighed by the fact just how many games I played with Sylvaneth.
Yeah.
With my list, right? So it just meant that I could go into a pairings matrix and know that I was going to get 8 points from a matchup, like with 0 interaction. Quite nice to have. So that was kind of the idea of how that went. So that was our roster.
And of course, there's the Sylvaneth choice, which I don't think many people at Worlds took the arrangement that you ran. You had Alariel with a couple of Kurnoth hunters with bows, right?
Yeah, it's the same list I've been milking for years.
Yeah. And as you said,
it's the same standard list in 4th, weirdly, but yeah.
And as you said, it's like the practice with that list outweighs the positives of other armies. Just by running Alariel and Kurnoth hunters for months and months on end, ever since like 3rd started, that just gives you such an advantage when playing these matchups where you think, yeah, you're at risk, but you're not quite thrown into the deep end fully, for example.
No, exactly, and I think that the thing is that on things like because
oh no.
So the thing with Sylvaneth is that they can, because they're 1-drop, they can defend on as like Nexus, and either you're committing. Because the thing is that my biggest reds, generally speaking, for armies like Sylvaneth or Castle Builders are 1-drop, so other 1-drops. So if you have like Slaves to Dark 1-drop, and then you get double, then you generally lose the game. But on Nexus Collapse, it just doesn't matter because you're not really playing Warhammer. So I can go into those battle plans, and then the opponent's forced to go, well, you still have to give me decent. You still have to respect the list. I'll win by more, but otherwise I know I'm going 5 points every turn, and you're going to win 12-8, or I'm going to win 12-8, and that's probably going to be the priority of 5 going to be in. And that can take, and then if I can get a good list, then take one of your good lists away and lock that in, then that's kind of the idea of what we kind of wanted that list to do. And it did it quite well, actually. Most of it.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting to have people on filler roles, so to speak, where Phil was sort of always aware that he was going to be a banker army, a banker list, where he knew he would be thrown into first round like defender matchups, where he would take options out for the rest of the team, where he was at risk of being paired into reds and such, but still having sort of the skill to box himself out of them and get a couple wins out of them as well. A complete contrast to that with a flex choice of Sylvaneth, really, where you're literally just filling that one specific role for the team, where you're always sort of good to go, no matter the matchup, really.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of the idea was that I can send a lot in the rounds where there are those battle plans, and where there aren't, I can generally bully quite hard into things, because obviously there's a lot of corn and there's a lot of gargons like this, and I can't, obviously Sylvaneth or my Sylvaneth cannot play battle plans with 3 objectives. They just can't.
Yeah.
They just lose immediately. But anything with wide game, you just know you're not into any kind of matchup. You just know you're not going to lose by more than like 2 points. It's just not going to happen, because nothing's going to you're just not going to get bullied that hard, generally speaking.
Yeah.
If you're paired into like things like Soulbite, things like Vec, generally speaking, you do okay.
Oh yeah.
They don't quite have the damage to kill, even though they have huge damage in their recursion. So they don't really kill anything. So you just stand there, and you just kind of it's a bit weird how it works. It's not really Warhammer, to be honest, but it works quite well.
Yeah.
Kind of
You're
how it
playing
is. It is
the
interesting.
super cagey game, so to speak. You're
Yeah.
just doing your
You
thing,
do-
and you don't necessarily care about what the opponent does.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I'm gonna score. I'm gonna score my 8 points. I don't mind what you do.
Yeah.
Generally, is how it works.
Yeah, 100%. You mentioned a couple of the armies that you were sort of eager to face, and the only reason that we still saw a lot of Khorne and a lot of Gargants at Worlds was, of course, the battle scroll dropping 2 weeks before list submission. Uh, basically, the lack of nerf for Khorne, or points increases for Khorne, and the fact that Gargants practically remained untouched as well. Just a couple of points decreases across the board meant that both armies were going to be super present at Worlds. How did you sort of prepare for the battle scroll? Because of course, in the Worlds sort of community, you're aware that lists are only final once the battle scroll drops and once you have all the information. And we've been waiting for the battle scroll since December. It released, I think, in March, and then a month later, we had another battle scroll. So basically, you had 1 month of an old battle scroll that wasn't necessarily relevant anymore, and then you've got 2 weeks practically to prepare for another list for that exact same scenario, where you're selecting armies, you're thinking about lists, and you're just blown out of the water by another sort of rules change, points increase, etc., etc. How did you guys deal with that?
So some of the team dealt with it better than others. So I was not on Sigmar for a good while. I was deciding between. So I had 2 lists that I was going to play. One of which was cities. And I was going to play my absolutely unhinged cities list. That with like a Dreadlord on Black Dragon. It was genuinely really, really good, but it gave me a but every game I played I came out with a migraine. So so it wasn't worth playing at all. But it could really mess you up if you didn't know if you kind of if you made any mistake against it. But yeah, just the migraines it gave me, let alone my opponent. But the list that got messed up my battle score was I was actually looking at playing Slanesh before, but I wasn't going to play the big boy list. The list I was going to play was actually with Sigvald, and it was a much wider list. Basically, it was Sigvald some Chariot. It was really, really good. I practiced it a lot into FEC, and this was peak FEC before they got it. So I practiced a lot into FEC, a lot into anything like Gargants, anything that couldn't take a hit, deleted. And I was really, really thinking about it. But the gimmick of it was it was in Godseekers, which is the one no one plays. But it was because you could do the 3d6 move.
Yeah.
You could do it on the same unit.
Yeah.
And then in the battle scroll, inadvertently, it got nerfed because they changed the ruling on. It was for Lumineth, right? For Lumia and just general stuff like that. But they changed it so that if the rule of one, so if you said so you could pick 3 units. If it didn't say different, you always used to assume that meant you could pick the same unit. Yeah. And then in that battle scroll 2, just before Worlds, they were like, oh no, we're changing it. So now you always assume that it is different.
Yeah.
And then that completely and then I just couldn't really play the list anymore, and I was like, great.
That's my plans.
Which is a bit frustrating.
Yeah. That's my plans foiled. God damn it.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the thing one. I think generally as a team, we didn't get affected that much because we already knew we were going to take Argant, so that didn't change a bit. And then the only one that got nerfed was Khorne. And to be honest, we'd just been they got points increases, right? But to be honest, because everybody knew that Colm was going to get nerfed, but most teams was they were just playing with one unit less or with one invocation less, right?
Mhm.
They were just like,
Yeah.
okay, well, if I lose that, because
Don't care.
we're never going to lose more points than that, and then the lists didn't, right? Yeah, exactly right. So I think we kind of, when the points drops came, points increase came for Colm, we were kind of already very ready.
Yeah.
You know, it would just drop, same or no. Like, yeah. So I don't think we were affected too much by it because but also it's always hard and competitive because you always get so much intel anyway, right? In general, like like we knew the battlescroll was coming,
Yeah.
right? Because even though we just had one and there's no reason that GW would do another one and they didn't announce they were doing another one, we knew they were doing one, right? The whole competitive community knew they were doing one. So it's always you always take that a little bit for advantage. Because I talked to some of my sort of non-competitive players of the game, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's definitely coming, and they're like, what are you talking about?
We just had one.
The world doesn't know, but
yeah,
exactly right. Like so it could have been a lot worse, I think.
Yeah.
If the sort of competitive scene wasn't kind of made aware of it. But I think to be fair to Games Workshop, I think it was probably needed. Otherwise, I think even though it didn't nerf them much, it's still like almost still everywhere.
Same with FEC, I think.
If it hadn't have been same with FEC, yeah. I mean, if Chalice and the Beast Slayer, the command train still worked, then yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, then I would have played FEC.
Me too. So.
Yeah, it was never really a question if Games Workshop was going to do another battlescroll before the end of 3rd edition. It was just a question of when, because list submission is 2 months out from 1.5 months out from Worlds itself, and basically that's the cutoff. If it came after that, we don't care, and if it comes before that, yeah. If it comes before that, then we might as well just adapt and go for it, really, right?
Yeah.
But
there was that like we were always going to get one, but it was kind of not. Yeah, it was just kind of because of the weird timing lineup. It kind of like it was a bit abnormal, but it was totally like you say, it was always going to happen. But yeah.
Much of it, of course, was down to the fact that instead of releasing the battlescroll in December, like they announced they would be doing, they released it in February, early March, somewhere around that time frame.
Very, very late.
Yeah, but in the end, we're all competitive players, and 99% of the time, teams prepare for the occasion that this could happen. As I've spoken to Philip, he was playing the list 50 points down that he was running, and a couple of other players from Team England basically did the same thing. You mentioned you're playing with people were playing with an invocation less or a unit less, so it's not that it came as a huge surprise. It's just a question of how surprising, basically, it was.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, and I think the reality is that you kind of know what's going to change. Like it's not like you're like, oh, this thing's randomly broken. Like generally speaking, the thing that's causing the most depression gets nerfed. So if Sylvaneth were broken, right, would expect Strike and Fear to get nerfed in some way, right? If Boomthirsters are everywhere and destroying everything, I expect them to go up in points. Like it's not like it's quite easy to see where you're okay. My list has 3 Boomthirsters. Okay, well then I'm gonna have a heavy thing. Well, actually, mine's only got 1, so okay, maybe I don't need that much of a points allocation. Like, you know, if you think Beast Players are gonna go up and you've got 100 of them in your list, then sure, maybe it's a problem. If you've got 40, then it's slightly less of a problem. Maybe one of your heroes gets downgraded. It's very easy to make these kind of assumptions, and then you can always plan. Like worst case scenario, a list goes up 100 points and you drop a unit. It's always the worst case, right? Realistically, it's never going to be worse than that, unless they get a core rule. But generally speaking, you know, worst case scenario, all of your units got by 10 points, and you're up 100.
Yeah.
Down 100 points, right? Sure, you drop one unit, you're back in position. So can you play the army without that one unit? Yes, then you're in a great position. No, okay, then maybe it's worth considering other options. Generally,
Hmm.
that's kind of how it works. So then that's what, like I said, that's what we did with the Quin. So our comp player played some games without the invocations, and then that was okay. And then he played without a unit, and then we realized that was better. And then when the points came, actually they weren't that low, so we didn't need to drop as much as he thought he would.
Yeah.
So then one unit got downgraded as opposed. Then we didn't have any colours of character. Oh no. So yeah, so I think it's I think like you say, I think it's very easy to play around, to plan around the 50 points drops, stuff like that.
Okay, I needed to change my lighting a little bit, but yeah, I think we've talked a lot about preparation for Worlds now.
Yeah.
All the thought that goes into arranging everything for a team. So why don't we just move on to the event itself? You guys had a blast before Worlds. If you want to see what they got up to the day before the team event, you should probably check out the Team Wales Twitter. Little preview, Matt. What'd you guys do?
Yeah, so our amazing Captain Dan, I didn't know about this. In fact, none of us knew about this, but he well, I mean, so for context, right? He just says before we knew we were going into the middle of Amsterdam for a mystic activity.
Yeah.
So that was the context, which could be anything, especially if you know Dan. This could really no idea what this could be. Then we found ourselves in the middle of a park in Amsterdam, and a man comes up and it's like, "Hello, guys," and then we got to do some fire breathing, being the dragons that we are. For those of you who don't know, the Welsh flag is a dragon, so so we got to do some fire breathing, pretty sick. And yeah, that was not expected at all, but it was peak. Yes, that was a really awesome experience. Yeah, some of the guys embraced it a lot, especially Luke. Yeah, no, so that was a really fun.
And it gets you primed for the event as well, right?
Yeah.
Handling fire. Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is, as well as I came on the Monday, so Wills was on the team's event the Friday until the Sunday. I came on Monday because I lived there, right? But I hung out with the American guys and the Canadian all week, and that was really nice. So we hung out all week, and I had a lovely time. And then I got to do fire breathing the day before Worlds. So I was like, the hype level I'd reached at that point was a little bit insane. So that was really amazing. So everyone else was kind of came back after doing that, and we were like, yeah, and then everyone else was kind of like playing practice games, having scrims. And people were like, "Oh, have you done any practice?" And we were like, "Yeah, we've just been breathing fire instead." What do you mean? Yeah, that was a pretty unique experience for sure. Although he's put a lot of pressure on himself because I don't know, he's got to top that next year. I'm not sure how he's going to do that. So.
Oh God, poor dad.
Yeah. Yes, that was really awesome. Yeah, especially the day before, kind of built up that, especially because, like I say, we've been building so much of this team chemistry. Kind of our main aim this year was the kind of team chemistry and the bonding, being a team, and that really just kind of solidified that just before. The perfect.
Yeah. And the World Championship itself kicks off the day after, of course. Early morning start, everyone's super hyped, but it's a round you can prep for the most. You know your opponents 3 weeks out from the event. And for you guys, superb draw, round one. I've said this when talking to Phil about the round one pairings. Wales, England, and Austria got superb round one matchups with close friends, close matches. you guys in round 1 played the Netherlands.
Yeah, we did. We couldn't really have sort of planned that, to be honest. So yeah, so we played the home nations. I am incredibly good friends with all of the team. Obviously, having moved there. So the joke is that my 1-year plan to infiltrate them just to get parent to them round 1 paid off. But it's actually even funnier than that because we just the day before pairing, the official pairing, we'd organised with Lex and Jeffrey, who were Jeffrey to do pairing with the Team Netherlands to do a scrim. We'd done the pairings, and then the next day we got the actual pairing for Worlds. So then we had to kind of like, then we were kind of in this weird limbo where we were kind of like, do we still do the scrim? Because we know we're playing the round 1, but the scrim was a different round, and we were like, maybe we do, and then we decided that it was kind of a bit of a buzz killer. For like it was kind of a lot of our guys are paying. I mean, everyone's paying a lot of money to be there, right? But a lot of our guys are paying a lot of money. A lot of their guys is first time. You don't want to kind of kill that buzz if you don't have to. So we decided that we didn't need to. And then we got to play the Dutch guys round 1, which was amazing. I love playing Dutch guys. They're amazing. I play with them quite a lot, or relatively. I play with them the most, I guess. So yeah, no, really, really, really awesome. Great group of guys, and all of my guys. It's going to be a theme throughout the whole thing, but all of my team said they all had fantastic games. Which is always the aim. Yeah, no. So so we went in. Me and Lex actually built our pairings matrix together. So because we did that before. a lot of the sort of the style that we've done it was the same. So that was pretty. So the only variance really was what we thought might like and what they thought like. It's really. And then Lex obviously made those. If you haven't seen them already, check
100%.
100%.
I'll try to find them and add them.
I think they're on Louise's video as well.
Yes.
If you haven't watched Louise's video, like watch that video. Holy heck, watch that video.
Be linked down as well.
Rogue Hobbies. Yeah. Watch it. It's amazing. So Lex did these amazing pairing cards. I don't know how to pairing boxes. Yeah, but
pairing boxes.
Go check them out. Won't dwell on too long, but they were insane. He made them all himself. He surprised the team with them. They didn't know about them. Wild. Insane guy. But so that was really cool. But then so we got to the pairing against them. It's really, really awesome. And then I ended up against Nick, who I've played a couple of times before. So we played Fountains of Frost, and he was playing Feck. He was the wide list with the 40 beast players, the 2 beast players, all the classic stuff that you'd expect.
Yeah.
Wide Feck list. But luckily, I'd got him on Fountains. I was playing Silver, so I got him on Fountains of Frost, and I ended up getting a 12-8 win. By just playing wide, because obviously I can't kill anything in Feck. But that doesn't matter when they have to sort of come towards me. So I ended up getting a win with that one, which I was happy with. Obviously that was a bit of a red. It's a big red matchup for me, but on that battle plan a bit more playable. And then it's just a case of a lot of the Feck run out of battle time. So you have to come. I can push behind them. So I won on Grand Strap literally because we noticed that a lot of the Feck players had the your general. You have to kill my general, and their general has to be in my territory. Oh no, sorry, my general. My general. Yeah, my general.
No, an abhorrent.
And theirs.
An abhorrent must be in enemy territory.
Basically, my Warsong Revenant has to not be in my territory. Okay, so unsurprisingly, and mine is to keep mine alive. Right, there's no threat to them because he's stood by and unopposed. So I won on Grand Strap purely. So I won by 2 points, and those 2 points were Grand Strap.
Nice.
So yeah, so that was kind of there wasn't really much they could do, to be honest. You had to play to give me a prior early and get the double, and I kept winning priors.
Yeah.
I kept forcing him to turn. He just never opportunity. So yeah, no, so that was really good. And in the end, we ended up. It was a very, very, like I say, very close, very, very even matched teams for sure. In very similar positions as well with players. So we ended up winning by 4 points. So we won 82-78.
Yeah.
Which is arguably the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
From a competitive perspective, but yeah, no, we had a really, really fun against them. But we did manage to just about pinch to win.
Yeah, and as I've talked about in Phil's video, pipping the close match by a couple of points obviously means you're also going to be playing the people that were playing close matches at that point. And in your lucky case, you got Team England round 2.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, so we got to play. I got to play against Phil's boys. But yeah, no, it was. No, I mean, there's always a lot of drama, and or not drama, but there's always a lot of like vocalists. I love playing Team England. I love the guys very, very well. They're always fantastic. I don't have bad games. It's so fun. That's great. Like Luca really put like Luca captain really in this year. And yeah, and I've genuinely like this. I've heard a lot of outer drama, but the internal stuff I've heard from Team England has been genuinely just this year. And I really can't like. It's been fun. So
yeah,
really, I was actually really excited to play again. And yeah, and it was so great. But yeah, we got so the battle plans that round were a bit weird because we had Nexus collapse and we also had limited as well. So inherently, so our mindset going into that. So just a bit of context, right? So there's always been the sort of Wales versus England drama, or like we should weigh equal teams, right? Just for context, Wales have never not been captain when England have played. Never happened in history. Okay, we've been capped every single time we played against them. The only time we haven't been capped against them is when we played against nations. When they were running their sort of I don't want to say suboptimal team, but then like I guess that, right? Like they're not peak team in theory.
Basically the people that were aspiring to join Team England, that team.
Exactly right. And so it's kind of a big. It was an awesome opportunity for us, right? Because there's no pressure on us. Nobody expects us to, right? Everyone's expecting us to win. And then we got the opportunity where we had four of the 8 games are going to be on close battle, which means that we can guarantee some points, which actually helps quite a lot from a parent's perspective, basically, knowing that going in. And so we used that, and then we ended up getting. So I played. I ended up playing Freddie Leggett, who is a wonderful human being.
We love Freddie.
And we love Freddie, but I've never seen Freddie so tilted in a game of Warhammer. So Freddie doesn't get tilted. Freddie's lovely, but our game was not a real game of Warhammer. So we played limited resource. Not limited. Sorry, we played Nexus Collapse, and Freddie's playing a really, really cool army. States of Darkness, Ravagers list. It's very in depth. Clearly a lot of thought going into that list, and that battle plan doesn't matter. Whoever wins turn 5 priority is winning 12-8, and there's nothing you can do about it. Basically, because of the me and Freddie, we played a really, really lovely time in general, not from the Warhammer perspective. But yeah, it purely came down to the turn 5 prior, and Freddie ended up scoring his grand strat. He won by 2, which gave him the
12-8.
If I had won priority and given it exactly if I had won priority, give it to him because he had the one unit in every board quarter. So if I'd have gone last in the battle round to stop that, I would have got the 12-8. So the ability to do that helped. Yeah, so I had a lovely time, but my game was kind of a null and void game, because it was I'm getting 8 points, like that's the as weird as that. And then the rest of the guys did a fantastic job. We ended up losing, but we managed to get 54 points. So they've got,
Yes.
got 50.
Not cat.
We were genuinely really happy with, which I know a lot of people will say that negative, but generally speaking, like, the best we've ever performed against them, and like I know we say we got the things, but we also Matt Goldsberg got.
Oh no, he's gone again.
We did have some. So obviously Matt got his big win, got a big 20, which helped us get a lot of points, and we were genuinely really happy with that. So yeah, so that was really wonderful for us. We had a fun round, and again, no one on the team had any bad experience. Which is awesome, which is always what you want to hear. So it was really awesome, and we got the Listbot seal of approval as well. JP who is obviously right now, he is maybe the most loved person in Warhammer right now.
Yeah.
Because of his Listbot tool, but yeah. So I'm very good friends with JP, and I talked to JP afterwards, and JP told me that I'm, apart from one thing, apparently we did the almost optimal pairing. So we were like, let's woohoo.
Nice.
So yeah. So let's go. So yeah. So that was really nice. And always good to play against them. So that was really awesome. Really happy with that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, England's always like the giant at a tournament that at some point some people might encounter. Of course, them playing Denmark round 1 mitigates that fact and pushes them back into the midfield, so to speak. And yeah, continuing the trend, however, you're playing against another nation you meet at Six Nations every single year.
Yeah. So we played Scotland.
Hey.
At this point, we thought we were just we talked to all the home nations, because obviously Ireland and Northern Ireland played round 1. And we were like, are we just doing Six Nations again? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
But yeah, so we played against Scotland, who we'd done a scrim against.
What? No.
So we knew all the guys, and we knew their lists, and they knew our lists pretty well, because none of them changed. So yeah, so we went in, and yeah, we had a really great time. Again, always great guys. Super awesome round. So I ended up playing against Will on it was the Icefields. That was it. I can't remember the name of it, but no one plays it.
Yeah.
So I played on Icefields. He was playing his corn list, which was I have 1,000 bodies, and I'm going to get to like 1,000 blood tithes, basically. Yeah, and we played really well. And as you'll see as a trend, I ended up losing 8-12.
What? No.
So yeah.
The army that's supposed to play close games wins or loses by a small margin?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, by 1 point margin. Yeah. So came down to Will scoring a battle tactic in his turn 5, and he did. So he ended up winning. Great game. Really awesome things. It's always fun when you play 3 hours in Warhammer, and then you like realize that you could have just fought up it for a 12-8. It's good vibes. Yeah, so that was really awesome. Had a lovely time again. Yeah, great. Me and Will actually played it in the scrim as well, so we so we literally played the game before. So yeah, not the same battle. Yeah. So yeah, no. So that was really good. And then we ended up winning the round 87-72. So we ended up yeah. Well, I mean, it feels weird, because at the time it feels like a good win, but it's not. It's like it's one flip away from not being a win. But yeah, no. So we were really happy with that. So at this point, we've only lost England. So we're like,
this is it. This is it.
Yeah, exactly right. So we did really well. Yeah. So that was really awesome. Yeah. So really solid round there.
Yeah. Speaking of solid rounds, team that performed well this year at Worlds as well. Up next, round 4 against Finland.
Yes. So another team we scrimmed.
You're just replaying all your scrims, aren't you?
Honestly, the only team we didn't play was Germany. But yeah, so so Finland was really, really, really awesome. A lot of us are very good friends with a lot of Finnish guys.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was really.
And a couple of their players
Honestly,
also live in the UK, right?
yes, yeah. So obviously Seb lives in the UK. I think it's only Seb, right? In the UK, yeah, I think so. But yeah, but obviously there's Leo who used to live in the UK.
Mhm.
So yeah, so there's awesome squad, awesome roster. So I got to play the lovely Hannah, who I've met properly before, but we had a really, really lovely. We had a great game. It was against Feck again. On the same battle plan that I played in round 1.
No way.
Into Feck, so you'll never believe what happened, Quinn.
Was it a 12-8?
It was a 12-8 win.
Oh.
because it was the same grand strat.
Oh boy. You just played round 1.
It was a different list. It was a different style of list. It had a lot more big knights.
Ooh.
But
Yeah.
So we had a great game, but it came down to the grand strat basically.
As it so often does in AOS 3.
Yeah, well, long gone are those days, but yes, exactly.
Thank God.
Yeah, so that was round, and then really, really loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Then we ended up winning 93-67.
Nice.
So we were winning, like the winning margin was slowly increasing.
Very cool, yeah.
So we were really happy with that because we lost the scrim, so we're really, really happy to win that by sort of almost points. Was amazing, but not all points. That's not maths works, but yeah, we were really, really happy with the rounds.
Yeah.
So
a superb result for the team, of course.
Of course, yeah, it was really, really awesome. And at this point, I've played 4 games with a dragon on my head. Again, see Louise's video for the thing, but yeah, we were having a great time. We were singing Amal Heed, which is a classic Welsh song. Every game, every round, the vibes were on point. And in this round, I won't go over the games, but in this round, Owen was the game where Owen managed to every year someone has to do it.
Oh God.
Yeah, this was we had the Beast of Chaos mirror, and Owen managed to zone him out of deployment turn 1 in the Beast mirror, so we ended up getting a 20 Beast into Beast, which someone has to do every year. It's the guarantee. Yeah.
Last year it was the Pedromancer who did that in their against
the Netherlands, right?
Yeah. And this year, the Owen Jackson, of course, honoring the tradition. Yeah. I wonder if we're going to see that next year. Now someone has to do it.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. Because Beast's got more bodies. So.
Yeah. Can't wait for that. Literally.
Who's it going to be?
It's
exciting times.
But, continuing on another tangent, more trends to come. Another Scandinavian nation. Hey! Just need one more, and then you've got the entire region. Little preview.
Yeah, true.
Day 3, final day of the event. You're going in. You've won 3 out of the 4 rounds thus far. Yep. You're all super pumped. You're singing songs, having a great time.
Yeah.
Round 5, Norway.
Then we get to play Norway. Yeah, so Norway were super fun, super great guys. We know them pretty well because they do come to UK tournaments quite a lot. Or they go to like everywhere. But,
yeah.
But yeah, no. So we had a really so that was a super fun round. I got to have some beers in that game. Peak. Really, really, really fun round. So I played against Tom. He was playing Korn. Played on Pulse, so I got to play real Warhammer this time.
Actually, a battle plan.
Purely Brawl Officer turn 5, so this was actually a game that I got to play.
A game you have to think about? Oh no.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. All the other games were like 3-hour games with like fully intense moments, but
Mhm.
like none of them really mattered just from a context of a game. Whereas this one had a lot more things. So yeah, so this one had Scarborough and Double Boomfist.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we had a really good game. I ended up getting a bit lucky into, so I won round 5, and I managed to zone off I managed to kill everything and zone off his altar completely.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
It was something like 7 or 8 blood tithe at this point. So it meant that he failed his grand strat, which was summon every turn.
Oh no.
And yeah, so I managed to stop that entirely. So I got a 14-6 instead of a 12-8.
Oh my God! You're breaking the pattern, Matt. No.
It's okay. I break the pattern pretty badly later, but yeah. So that was really so I got a little bit lucky there to get that. To be honest, that was not kind of what I expected. I mean, it was really good for the team, but yeah. So I got a 14-6 win, a lovely time. It meant that we ended up winning 102 to 50.
Ooh.
So that was our biggest win.
Superb showing, of course. Yeah.
So team did amazingly. We got quite a few. I think we had 2 or 3 flip reds in that round, which really helped us. Kind of things. Yeah. At this point, Peter Twig was flipping reds for no reason at all on Corn, which is what Corn does, I guess. But yeah, it was kind of unhinged. So we were really happy with that, and it put us in a really good position to go into the final round.
The final round. Against completing the Scandinavian sort of trio up there.
Yeah, minus of course we got Sweden. We missed Denmark.
Yeah.
The quad up there. Which is a shame because I've never played against Danish actually. Just dodging them hard. Apparently. I'd love to play against them. I really love that experience. But yeah, so we got the Swedish guys who were also fantastic. And yeah, so we had great vibes with the Swedes as we always do. To be fair.
Of course, the Swedes at this point high in the rankings for podium contention, as they have been every year thus far.
Absolutely. Well, interestingly, this is the thing, is that interestingly at this point, so are we.
Yeah.
So we're tied on points with Sweden at this, which is an important thing to know.
Yes.
At this point in time, we're joint 9th. I think it's with we're either joint with them or we're close. We're joint 9th, obviously.
Yes.
Playing them, right? And we're incredibly happy with how we've been, because we've only lost to England so far. So we've got a pretty solid record so far. Our wins are going up. Then I play against Stormcast, who were fielded by the lovely Jonas. So I've played against Stormcast quite a lot, and I just kind of really underestimated damage to. I ended up getting I got tabled turn 3 in my game.
So what you're saying is you didn't play 12-8.
Yeah, I didn't know. No, I lost 19-1 on Power Flux. Which was really, really bad.
Ooh.
But yeah, I just got completely destroyed. I completely underestimated damage from a pairings perspective. I really didn't respect it. There's no point trying to hide behind it. Just kind of didn't respect the damage. And yeah, it just completely, it just got a double and killed everything, basically. And yeah, so I really didn't respect how much I should have a lot. So I ended up that game, and that was kind of a theme throughout the whole round. Was we had a lot of games that kind of didn't go our way. We had a lot of the 50-50s didn't go our way. We had a Seraphon mirror that obviously is the first person to go in and double wins.
Yeah.
And we kind of lost our 50-50, and so a lot of these kind of swing points went. So then we ended up losing very badly actually against Sweden. So Sweden did very, very well against us.
Mhm.
And we ended up getting 43 points. They're 170.
Oh boy, that's.
Yeah. So, but it did. Yeah. So that was pretty bad. That round. Like it was. I almost had negative. We had a fantastic time. The speeds were amazing. But yeah, from a points perspective, obviously it sucked.
Yeah.
Especially because we were on like we were like, wait, hey, oh boys, we're doing good. How's this happened? Kind of wide to there we go.
Oh no.
But yeah, no. So yeah, so that was a good. It was a good field test, but yeah, damn, it was that. It sucked at the time for sure. So then, but then what it did mean is that Sweden skyrocketed up
Yes.
to third and podiumed, and we skyrocketed down, and we ended up finishing 16th, I believe. Purely because it's so close in that mid bracket anyway.
Yeah.
But it was yeah. So it was that's kind of where we ended up with. A bit bittersweet, I guess, or the other way around, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
Where we were, because we kind of were at the start. We were very disheartened. We were like, kind of it like it's from where we were and what we want to do. It's not great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we were like, wait, if we'd have, so we did then we kind of, because at the time, both us and Sweden went into that round with the mentality that we weren't playing for anything. Like really, like both of us went into that round being like, we're playing for like whoever wins maybe goes like sixth is kind of where our heads were at, and we kind of vibed it. Like it was sort of like there was sort of a joke that we were going to go in and do random pairing. Right? That was kind of like not actually, but like that was kind of the level of vibe, right? So then for Sweden to come out of that and go podium, which they thoroughly deserve, was like, okay. We were like, wait, were we playing for, like, if we'd have, so then we worked it out, if we'd have reversed that score, we would have put. So from a new team relative perspective, we were like, hey, yo, wait.
That's crazy.
So and to be honest, it just shows how, like, this year was like, so Worlds is kind of historically has been like a practice thing. You know who the top three teams are, you know how it's gonna go, you know who's gonna win against who. That's kind of how it's always been. This year was nuts, man. Like day one was like, it was like Denmark had lost a round, England had lost a round, France had lost a round, USA had lost a round. You were like
everyone.
Poland's the only unbeaten team, right? You're like, what's that? You're like,
what is going on?
Not exactly right. Not the Poland that obviously was a team as well, but it was just the rules that we kind of set for everyone was so all over the place, and people were beating everyone left, right, and center, which was like awesome.
Not
like
expected,
of
course.
Moment at the end. No, and it led to this moment at the end where if we'd have done where it means that it's much more volatile. It felt a bit more like a singles result, you know, where you're playing to win the event, but then if you go like 8th, right? It felt like that kind of feeling, but like who cares? But like so that was so honestly the positives are amazing. So that was
the team obviously performing quite well for having a lot of new members on board, many who have traveled for the first time and played internationally too. Like, just an improvement all around from the years prior, especially since you mentioned that you were going for a lot of this team chemistry building, a lot of like activities around that, the mentality of the team sort of shifting as well, because from an outsider's perspective, last year, Wales was this sort of gunning for a good performance. Like, the mentality was there to go ahead and land within the top 10 and just go for that. And I remember talking to you and to Jay last year about your games, about the mentality within the team, and that overall it didn't feel satisfying to attend the event, do your best, and not fulfill the expectations that you had. And the way it seems this year is from a much healthier perspective, in a sense that instead of really saying, okay, we want a top 5 or we want a top 10, you're entering the event with the mentality, we're here for vibes, we're going to have a good time, and we've been the team has been the best it's ever been, and we're just going to see where this takes us. And speaking to, of course, all of my friends in Team Wales, that's sort of the development and the step forward that the team has taken as a whole, which I'm really, really, really glad about.
Yeah. So I think the important, like, so for me anyway, the important thing is that we kind of, Wales as a country is kind of its whole identity built around the fact that it's a small country, tiny, right? We're a small country that has like camaraderie and like longing for home is kind of like the whole, like, it's hard if you live in Wales, it's half your personality. It's kind of how it works. So so to not have that built into the team feels a bit like a big opportunity. That's kind of what we're focused on. And then the reality is that Worlds is going more and more, like the level of Worlds going up and up and up. The sheer practice that people are having, the investment of time and energy is going up and up. Right? And the only way you're going to be able to, like, from my perspective anyway, as a country that doesn't have players in general, the only way we're going to be able to follow that trajectory is if we have a team that has a supportive network and has like members that can rely on each other in a community, stuff like this. But then we don't have the luxury of being like, okay, well, you suck, so we'll get someone else in, right? We don't have to. So being able to build up that, like, okay, well, everyone has, even if you decide tomorrow that you're a washed player, fine.
You were talking about fire breathing.
Sorry, yeah.
And picking each other up, of course.
Yeah, of course. But overall, I think it's just amazing. The position we're in, we're so happy. Our goals at the start of the year had nothing to do with performance at all. They were purely to do with like camaraderie and building the team, and everybody feeling like they performed to a level that they were happy with, and kind of and we did that, and everybody feels that they did that to at least some level, which is perfect. Like obviously we came 16th, so obviously everyone in this team is like, damn, could have done better, because we could have. But like, you know, that to me that shows hunger, which is nice. Like, so super excited for the team growing.
All right, lovely that. And for next year, of course, applications for Team Wales have opened. I'm not sure if they're open when this video goes live, but I can highly recommend you check out the AOS Wales Twitter handle. I'll put it down in the description. And yeah, I guess that's about it, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think that the recap of Worlds.
All right.
2024.
Perfect. In that case,
Awesome.
Next up, of course, the one thing we haven't done thus far, POV 21st to 21st. Team Austria reviews coming up soon-ish. Don't know yet. I have to schedule the recording session. I will not be joined by Phil or Matt. I will be doing this with my captain and possibly my coach, which is now my captain. And yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to check out Phil's review of Team England. Again, I've linked it up here. I've linked it down in the description. And yeah, with that out of the way, I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please, if you enjoyed it, like, comment if you have any questions. Subscribe, of course.
Oi, I see you. Like, subscribe. Right.
You're hovering over the like button and the subscribe button. Do it now, and we're making sure we're gonna put out more content. Okay?
Yeah. We've got the Austria video coming. We've got 4 thoughts
Yes.
We're definitely going to do a tier. We're definitely doing a tier list. 100%.
Yes. 100%. And of course, there's a couple of events as well. There's 2 events that I will probably cover within the month of August. That'll be out September-ish, possibly. And of course, until then, remember, guys, you get no extra points for being a